Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we're going to talk about getting frustrated with the game, lights on the tree, and trying something different. So whenever I want to take a little break from the regular action of War Thunder, I'll take to the skies. There's so many different airplanes and so many different ways to contribute in a match that if some aspect of the game is giving you problems, well, there's always something else you can do. And today we're taking out the BTD-1. Now this is a premium American aircraft that has the special distinction of being able to carry 2 torpedoes. It also handles somewhat similar to a Corsair with a bit heavier weight and only 2 20 mils, but it gets a bomber spawn, so people who want to use it in a fighter role or a bomber interceptor role, that's an option. And here we are dropping down from the clouds, targeting the enemy carriers. These are Japanese carriers, so they get taken down with 1 torpedo. The torpedoes that the BTD can carry are fantastic American torpedoes. They can be dropped at around 300 miles per hour airspeed. And yeah, I use miles per hour, so if you want to convert that to kph, that's your own prerogative. They travel reasonably quickly, and you can drop them from 200 meters or so altitude. I think it's like 220, but I make it 200 just to be safe. I'm going to be around 60 meters or less anyway. They can travel 5k through the water, which is rather impressive, but generally not required. If an enemy boat is stationary, you can drop these from 4k away and then get out of anti-aircraft fire before they even know you're there. So we try to do a long shot on this enemy carrier, and try is sort of the operative word there. We're gonna miss that shot. And then we take a shot at closer range, dropping our fish in the water much closer to that second carrier. And you'll see pretty soon that there's one down, and the next one is gonna miss, and that's too bad. I was still sort of getting back into using torpedoes, and I was trying new things, just to see if I could make a longer range shot on that carrier, and unfortunately we weren't able to do that. So what am I doing flying out the BTD? Did I get frustrated with the game? Well, maybe a little bit, but I remember that I love this aircraft just because it's one of those naval bombers that can perform very well in that role. And I have a task under the it's called Lights for the Tree, I think, or Light the Tree, something like that, event as part of the festive events. Many of the festive events lights can be gotten just through regular gameplay. You'll just acquire them, randomly as you light a certain number of enemy tanks on fire, that kind of thing. But there was one for destroy enemy ships, so here I am destroying watercraft, and I wonder if those landing craft count. But with 2 torpedoes I can destroy 2 enemy ships for every time that I fly out. And on many of these maps I can land on carriers, which will increase my, what would you call that? You can get back into the fight a lot faster because you stop immediately using that arrestor hook. And something I haven't mentioned yet in this video is that the BTD has a really good dive brake. Its ability to decelerate and fly at relatively low speeds is fantastic. Very useful for a torpedo bomber, dive bomber, which it is, and also very helpful for landing on carriers. You are going to see me later on in this video. Did you see me dip my plane in the water there? That was pretty close. You'll see me later on mess up a carrier landing, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But at this point, we're enjoying the low speed performance of the BTD. This is one of those aircraft that's very leisureful to fly. It has a good amount of horsepower. It has a really torquey engine, so you can accelerate from low speeds fairly well. And vertical maneuvers at low speeds are no problem. The stall speed of the BTD is rather low, which is convenient. And it has strong flaps, so you can pull these attack runs one after another, as you see. And this is just like, again, it's like a miniature vacation. We're not going PvP here. It's almost like you're playing a PvE game. So we got a good amount of ships destroyed in that one, placed high in the team. Not that that matters, but rewards are also very good with the BTD because it is a premium plane. And if I was interested in grinding out the American air tree, which I'm not really focusing on right now, the BTD would be a solid choice. It's fun to play and it gets into the action quickly. As far as bombers go, it's one of the most fun. Definitely, if you get a discount on this vehicle, I would recommend picking it up. And if you feel like spending some money, this is not one that you would feel like you've wasted your investment on. It's a very versatile aircraft. As I said, it can engage in a fighter role or a bomber interceptor role, and I've had some fun with that. I think I've gotten 3 kills in a match with this before, which is pretty good for me. And here we go, once again, attacking carriers, and you can tell the movement of an enemy ship by the direction that their smoke is going. Now that carrier is not, it's not churning at all. It looks like the engine is off, so it was just sitting there, which caught me kind of by surprise. I could have sniped that guy from 5 kilometers away if I wanted to with a torpedo, but instead I closed much closer, putting myself at danger from AA, because you will occasionally get set on fire or critical engine damage from these carriers, so it's not an entirely brain dead operation. These ones are moving, so I need to aim my torpedo, line it up to intercept their path, firing from close range, and you can see from the damage on my airframe, indeed I have some engine damage here, that getting close to those enemy carriers costs you something quite often. I could have been taken out there. Now I'm going up against the toughest AAA in the game, and it's not airfield AA, it's this super overpowered. As you can see, look at all this flak coming in, and it's coming right for me. I actually have to defensive fly. I have to dodge here while I'm taking out these AA trucks, and I don't know what the deal is, but they're just ridiculously powerful here on this particular map. I had no idea that Japanese anti-aircraft artillery was that strong. So instead of going back to base, we decided to do a little bit of ground strike here. Again, we're just enjoying ourselves. Right now, American 4.0 air RB teams are very strong, and that's not surprising. Americans have always had very strong vehicles in that lineup, but it seems like a lot of the skilled players have moved over to the American side. It used to be that the most talented and experienced players would often play in the German teams, so German teams had a reputation for fantastic skill, but now that seems to have moved over to American teams. It's no longer that you see 3 American ground striking P-47s crash into the ground in the first 5 minutes of the match. At least, not every match. Anyway, I had a lot of fun in these matches, and I guess I'm just showcasing this, and I've showcased the BTD before for this very reason. This is like a miniature vacation. Oh, and did I mention, with that last battle, I had one of the lights for the tree objectives was destroy 5 enemy aircraft without losing your plane and somehow I got that achievement in that battle. So it must be some kind of bug with the game. I killed some ground units and it credited me with getting an air ace. So hey, I don't mind. Lights for the tree, right? That's for everybody. In case you guys don't know about the festive events, there's two separate events going on right now. There's the marathon event where you complete 3 out of 5 tasks to unlock special tanks and planes. And I've already covered the AEC Mark II. That's the first tank reward for the marathon event. You unlock a medal every 2 days, and then I think it was 8 medals or something to get the AEC. I'm not sure. So here we go, facing the destroyers on Norway. Norway is the best map for getting ship kills, because you can kill those 2 destroyers right away, as you see, 1 and then 2. And then you can fly quickly back to your carriers, land on a carrier, fly out, and usually pick up 2 more destroyer kills. If the match drags on, you can even get 6 destroyer kills with the BTD, which is a real treat. It's good for rewards, and again, this is not like your PvP, you know, go out and destroy your fellow man kind of gameplay. As you can see, we're avoiding confrontation. We're still having to employ some skill, dodging AA, which you can dodge. It's sort of random where it goes, but you can see the tracers for those larger AA rounds and fly accordingly. We landed on a carrier, which is still not an easy thing for me to do, especially since I haven't done so in quite a while. I think the carrier deck is about 18 meters off the surface, so that helps. That's one of those things that I've always wondered about. You know, I'm flying at like 50 meters altitude, and then I suddenly need to drop 30 to get down to the carrier deck. So if you line yourself up at about 25 meters and then get to just above your stall speed, drop down the rest of the distance, you should be fine, especially if you have an arrestor hook. Yeah, if you don't, things might be a little tougher, but I've managed to land several aircraft on a carrier. There's one guy, what is his name? Some YouTuber who does carrier landings with everything, and it's just incredible to watch him do that. What's his name? I can't remember it right now. Iron Armenian, that's right. So we get a few more destroyer kills, and you're gonna see us go in for our carrier landing, and this is the one where we mess up. So that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.